Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. So in the background, there is a little excerpt of FTL playing. Yes, Faster Than Light. I do realize that that is not really specifically a strategy game, but it's something that I enjoy playing, and it's going to be the background imagery for What's BRNK Think. And this is kind of an extension of the check-ins slash the opinions videos. I wanted a forum to be able to just spew things out into the internet, just whatever I'm thinking about that day. And I actually do have plans for this. It could be current event related, current tech or gaming topics, things like video card releases or things that I read up on and I'm really interested in and want to share with people. Or I'm definitely planning on including user suggestions. Anybody who's watching this, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up in the comments if you have any curiosities about what life is like on the insane side, anything you're curious about in life in general, stuff you've always wanted to ask someone random on the internet but never had an opportunity to. But who am I kidding? That kind of opportunity arises every day. Anyway, leave those in a comment or however you want to get a hold of me, and yeah, I might bring them up in the next video. Who knows? Anyway, this is going to be a catch-up one. I've not done a check-in in quite some time, and I definitely need to do one. A lot of you probably have no care whatsoever for what's going on in my personal life, but I feel like I need to do a little bit of explanation because last week I started this whole thing where I'm playing through a bunch of different campaigns and a bunch of different games, and I am very much looking forward to completing all of those in due time. But the beginning of this week and kind of the end of last week was just really crazy, and I didn't get stuff recorded like I should have. Basically blame it all on the work because I ended up having to work late. That's also why the streams this week were late getting started. Hip hip hooray for not being on time. Yeah, getting off work super late. Life has been pretty dang busy. And then there was some other stuff going on the last 2 weekends, which I delved into a little bit in a couple of the videos. For those of you who didn't see on the Insanity on Saturday stream where I mentioned it, one of my close family members on my wife's side was put under hospice care last weekend. So I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't mean it in a harsh way, but basically we're planning to attend a funeral in the next 3 weeks, something like that. So, I'm not saying that to be depressing. I'm just making you guys aware of, I'm probably going to be missing a few more days coming up here, but it happens. Life throws you curveballs, and basically it's good to be around family every once in a while. So look at it as an opportunity to go and interact with some people you may not have seen in a long time. Anyway, moving on. The new stuff around the channel, I feel like there is a bit of backstory here that needs to be told, because I have this pattern that I have followed through pretty much the entirety of my life up until the last month or so. And it is a habit that needs breaking. And I'm basically bringing you guys along for the ride. Way back when, in the days shortly after the GameCube, I started binge playing. And I started with Call of Duty. Now, before that, there actually was one. We had an original Xbox, and I played the crap out of Halo 2. Pretty much exclusively Halo 2 for a long time. And this is a pattern that developed where I play one game almost exclusively, get reasonably decent at it, and then get sick of it and move on to the next game. Now, before Halo 2, I had a variety of GameCube games, a variety of Nintendo 64 games, and I grew up with an original Nintendo Entertainment System in the house. So, I played this, that, and the other thing. Cartridge games, you swap them out every couple of hours. Especially when you have access to save files. I never really stayed on any one for more than 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours tops. Glover was an amazing game. I don't care what anybody says. Glover for the Nintendo 64 was an incredible concept. Anyway, if anybody actually knows what that game is, hit up the comments because I want to hear what you guys think about it. The whole magic hand and ball thing. So I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, what happened was with Halo 2, when that started, and then I took a little break from it, and then I had Modern Warfare 2, where basically I played for an entire year, nothing but that. got into a clan, got pretty good at it, and then got so thoroughly sick of it that I didn't ever want to look at an Xbox again. And then that led into Supcom after a couple of other little things. And then Supcom's been around for 2 years-ish. I just binge play, and I don't get out and experience different things. And it leaves me getting super tired of what I'm playing. And that's kind of started to happen with Supreme Commander. It did a couple of months ago. And I was like, I've got to come up with a solution to this, because Supreme Commander is a game that I want to stick with. And I still love casting it. I like watching other people. But when I'm playing it, it's just like, I'm so tired of all of this. And my solution was to force myself to play some new games. And at that point, Homeworld Deserts of Karak was coming out. I'm like, this is a super good opportunity to play something new, play something different, and I can show it to you guys. So I played out the campaign, had a blast doing it, and a lot of you guys were very observant of the fact that a lot of the times I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And this is an accurate observation, because when you bury your head in a single game for such long periods of time, you don't get the wide variety of experiences that are necessary to know a lot of game mechanics. For instance, Dawn of War 2. I had no idea that the items that I were picking up could be equipped to characters. That was just a foreign concept to me, because I'd never dealt with it in a game before. And someone informed me that, hey, you're picking up these weapons in the game and you can equip them on your characters. And I'm like, that's so cool. And immediately did it. So basically, I'm bringing you guys along for the ride where I'm discovering what video games are actually all about, because I've had a very narrow window into this. I know what I like. I am aware of what makes a good game, and I know how I feel about games once I'm playing them. But as far as the in-depth nitty-gritty details, I just haven't been out there enough. So my endeavor over the next few months is to play a huge variety of strategy games, whether that's squad-based shooters like Dawn of War 2, whether it's total annihilation for the nostalgia effect, and I missed out on all of this lore, all of these campaigns, these series that I just simply don't know enough about. I need to get that knowledge in my noggin. And it's an experience, it really is. And hopefully you guys can join me for the ride, at least for the games that you're interested in. I know this entire thing is built pretty much exclusively around Supreme Commander, but it surprised me how many of you actually listen to a lot of different stuff. And it's so cool to see. I never expected when I started doing this that there would be a few hundred people that are like, hey, we're interested in what you're playing. Show it to us. And that's just, I don't know. I'm still not sure what to think of it. It is very, very strange. All right, a couple of little things to share with you about the YouTube channel and things that are going on. I am going to shamelessly plug, and those of you who know me know that I do not shamelessly plug very often. I think it's probably been 3 months since I've even mentioned this, but for those of you who loyally view and wish to contribute, I do have a Patreon account, and I basically swapped it up because I used to offer reward tiers, and I am not... I try to be as consistent as I can, but with my work schedule, I work full-time. I try to record what is the equivalent of full-time YouTube content, even though that has not been working out for me at the beginning of this week. That's what I'm going to try to do. Basically, I don't want to do reward tiers because I don't want to offer something that I'm not going to be able to fulfill. But there have been a lot of people in the past that have asked about this, and there are a lot of people currently contributing. They're just like, hey, Brink, want to give you something. Just, I've had a couple of people say I use ad block and I want to contribute, so here's my $1 or whatever. Use the Patreon account. The link is in the description. That is the thing, and you can find me on there. Basically, I have $1 is the only contribution tier, and that's for guilt-free use of ad block. So whatever you guys want to do with that, that is completely up to you. And then on a second note, I wanted to share with you, pretty much everybody's opinion has already been formed, but I haven't shared with you guys exactly how it works with my channel. YouTube Red is pretty universally regarded as a good thing now. There were a lot of people who had doubts about it at the beginning, like, are the creators going to even see any of this? I don't like how the system is set up because it contributes unfairly to channels that you don't even watch. This, that, and the other thing. Well, I can tell you, I can't give you exact dollar amounts, exact cent amounts would be a more accurate term, but I can tell you, YouTube Red viewership accounts for 0.8% or less of my total channel viewership. And YouTube Red views account for almost 10% of the total channel income. Now, total channel income is abysmally low. Again, I can't give you an actual number, but YouTube pays diddly squat unless you have a massive amount of views. But what I do get, 10% of it comes from YouTube Red. So, not personally, don't misconstrue what I'm about to say. Nobody pull this out of context. A YouTube Red viewer is monetarily worth a little over 10 times as much as a regular viewer. And regular viewer is bundling people who use ad block and people who actually watch the ads. So, yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, it is very helpful. The takeaway from this is, should you choose to go for YouTube Red and you're wondering, does this actually help people? The answer is yes. YouTube creators make way more off of YouTube Red views than they do off of any other type of viewer. So yeah, either one of those is a good contribution to make. Directly to me is the Patreon route, and supporting YouTube as a creative environment is the YouTube Red route. So yeah, whatever you feel like. That is my shameless plug for the day. That is pretty much wrapped up everything that I'm thinking about right now. To conclude and to kind of come full circle, this whole What's BRNK Think thing, I'm wanting to do it once or twice a week, and I'm planning on doing an episode on video cards because I've been doing a lot of reading on video cards. There's been a lot of information posted about the upcoming Pascal and crap, I can't remember AMD's oh well, whatever it is, architecture. I've been reading a lot about those, and there's so much interesting stuff and a lot of interesting history that I've been reading up on that I just kind of want to blurt out for everybody to see. It might be information that you've already heard, it might not, but that's the kind of thing that I want to do with What's BRNK Think. And also user comments. Again, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up in the comments here. If you have any questions about anything gaming related, stuff you've been curious about, I am willing to research and share for this kind of thing. So even if I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to find the answer. And anything that you're curious about, whether it has to do with me or not, or strategy games or whatever. So yeah, that's the thing now. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I truly do mean that from the bottom of my reactor core. And I will see you in the next one.